All right, welcome back to Crypto Talk, guys. So I wanted to run down a few things with you here on Bitcoin, mainly because everyone's bearish. We have a lot of liquidity above us. You've got bullish divergences playing out. You've the yellow lines here you can see. Increasing momentum, increasing money flow. You've got increasing the VWAP. You've got a strong low shown here by the TPO. I can give you different videos if you like. There's no single prints left here on the hourly. And just as I shared this in the Discords that I belong to, including the Blocker Discord and the Jason Casper Discord, you can head over there. And also my Patreon, this thing took off. So I wanted to get on here and kind of talk about this a little bit. I have a target up here right around 97,000, just short of that. You've also got the previous month open, the yearly and the weekly VWAP here. And you've got a large level of liquidity sitting at 97,000. Something like, I think, 3,000 Bitcoin worth, something crazy. So it's a real thick pocket of shorts. So likelihood that's probably sitting at 97, let's call it 250. The top of this wick is probably where it's sitting. But as we start to step our way up, we have to really get over a couple other hurdles first. We're hitting our head currently on the previous month open, the yearly open. We're battling currently on the hourly, the previous day EQ. Which is key to get back above. And then you've got up here on the hourly, the 50 EMA coming in at 94,370. Previous day opens up here at 95. Previous week EQs the 95,237. So really, to be healthy, guys, we don't want to see a quick run up. We want to see a stair step. You will see a quick run at some point if this starts to push. Shorts done here will get squeezed. It's a great opportunity you could see for a reversal. You had liquidity set. You had a pump, which is a fake out. They dumped it back down, and then they grabbed liquidity. So that's an SFP. So it's changing direction. You had a chance to, if you wanted to wait, you could have waited for this wick here, where it was a fake out. It literally stopped out everybody except for the whales here on the bottom of this last wick. That came in at 91,595, and then since then it's been running. Even here, locally, you've got an SFP, a single print up at the top of this wick, which will be a target moving forward here. So I expect that to get overtaken. That's coming in at 93,500. And then this has some value area highs from over here coming in at 94. So we really need to clear this wick as well. So I really want to see some stair stepping. So I really want to see this nice, methodical, predictable pattern, and even potentially some sideways action before we blow up and then come back down. But I want to see a level hold. You don't want to see this come back down and cascade again. You want to see, by having a stair step, you're actually making order blocks to build a foundation, to build upon a bigger move higher. And that's where I really think we're going. With liquidity sitting at 97,000, and then above that's 102. And this liquidity curve here is huge. So this is massive. You've got a lot of untapped shorts here sitting, waiting, juicy, waiting to be grabbed. So this curve here is juicy as it gets, right? So this is a lot of money just sitting, waiting to be grabbed. So we're finally starting to take out some shorts in this range here. Everything's a micro range, so anything under 94 is getting attacked right now. And then we really start looking at each wick high above that for levels. And I have a bull target coming in at the $96,500 to $97,000 range for Bitcoin. My peanut is literally been ranging this entire time. I've been half underwater this time. I reduced my position once I got back above my entry up here earlier. So I took 50% of my position out. So I de-risked because I wasn't sure this was going to collapse or not. So I was willing to lose whatever this was if it came down and really swept the lows. But I put myself in a position where if it swept the lows, it could SFP, but also I wouldn't get stopped out if it just was this tiny SFP. But I didn't want to have a bearish break in structure and this squirrel go to zero and me be left holding the bag. This one was on cross, which means I was able to be flexible. If I would have used cross, I think I had like a liquidation level down at like 37 cents. So I really wasn't too upset with it, but really wanted to be smart, because no matter how good you are, you can get yourself in a hairy situation. And all of this was just an accumulation, hopefully to pump. So this is a bear flag. And as long as Bitcoin continues to pump, this should rise as well. Jump over to the Bitcoin dominance chart. We are getting a little bounce, but momentum is starting to turn down. The red money flow is still here, which really doesn't apply to the Bitcoin dominance. But I think we could see it. We're getting a rejection here on the daily VWAP. So we need a breakdown. Really need to get back below the 57.64 level. And then once you break that back down below the 56.62, alts will run like crazy. Let's see here. So this is regardless of the momentum wave here, which I still think has a lot more room to run. Some people may debate me on that. Until I see a confirmed red dot here after January, I'm not really worried about it. And even then, you could literally have divergences for 3-4 months at a time before the actual price action comes back down and follows that. They can be leading indicators on larger time frames and lagging indicators on shorter time frames, so keep that in mind. It's not an end-all be-all, it's more of a reference, but I pay attention more so. Money flow is king. Money flow is still high on the monthly time frame. This VWAP could just come down to the zero line and flatten out and come back up along with momentum. So second half of January, I'm expecting to be very, very bullish, especially once you get back above the 102 mark. Then I'm targeting the 114, then 125, and then 150. I think regardless of whenever we hit 150, you're going to have a large pullback after that. And that could take us into like the April-May time frame, where if you sell in May and walk away, we could have a summer lull, and then we have a blow-off top sometime in October. That could be as high as 340,000, which I've discussed in several other videos. This one here is kind of what I was looking at. Go back and watch those. I'm not going to explain this each time I show this chart, but basically it divided everything in half based on previous projections. So 340.97 is it kind of where I'm looking at. Could be a little bit higher, actually. I think so it's like 378%, but I couldn't pull it on this chart. The Tether dominance is bouncing a little bit. The lower this goes, the better. That means more money is being injected into crypto as a whole. You don't want people holding stable coins in the sidelines. You want the stable coins deployed into the asset class, which means people are taking risk. And right now it's a bearish double bottom. So I still expect this to roll over as Bitcoin moves higher. Running down through, I'll make sure I'm still recording since I'm having trouble with my settings sometimes. H bar here on the weekly has got it's just a bull flag. So I expect this to continue. I'm very bullish in general. Most coins, I'm expecting this go around between the 1.618 to the 2.618 to be very conservative. So at the very least, I'm expecting a 145 out of this coin, currently sitting at 27 cents. And that is roughly 226%. And we'll address these as time goes on. My KDAO is low again. CASP is kind of moving sideways. Not much to talk about with AVAX. AVAX has got a crazy liquidity grab coming too. Looks just like Bitcoin, just rounding is going to come up. This will come up probably to the same thing, the $40 mark, which is the weekly and the yearly VWAP, which is going to equate to that $97,000 mark for Bitcoin. So this should be a good opportunity. If you're not in a long, don't try to squeeze in now. Just wait for a pullback. You want to see an internal break instruction or retest, and then that would be a good spot. Just use proper risk management and you'll be fine. Solana, same thing. It's actually more exaggerated than AVAX. It's not as bullish in my opinion. You have a lot more work to get through, a lot more resistance above you. But it does have the same target. Yearly and weekly VWAPs are the target. So the 204 mark is kind of what I'm looking at. Band protocol has been chopping around forever. Again, I hold this in a large bag. I am just waiting to sell this. And based on how I see the narrative, if the end of this coming bull market, I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to do well, and it'll be around for the next bull market. I might not sell any of it, or I might just sell a small portion of it. It all depends. Do I need the money? Do I not need the money? We'll kind of work about that then. So SUI is outperforming most things. A nice bottom structure. It's kind of like a more bullish version of Peanut, more rounding but stair stepping, putting higher lows in as we go. I'm expecting SUI to outperform Solana. This should be the Solana darling of this bull market, so we'll have to wait and see. And then last but not least, for those of you who haven't seen my projections for time frames, I'm looking at October of 2025 being about where the Bitcoin top should be. Doesn't mean we can't hover around there for 2 more months after the fact until it really dumps, but I'm expecting a bear market low to come in right around October of 2026. So I'll leave you guys with that. Wanted to give you a quick heads up. Before I leave, hold on, there's Aptos. Just ranging. So it is holding the neckline, or I said the midline of this entire range. Aptos has a breakout target of $50 basically. I had to pull. There's no data to go off of. It's only been around for two years. So it's just been ranging for 2 years. So it's actually very bullish. The larger the base, the higher you go into space. So I have a little target here at $50. Quick update on Fusio. Fusio will be out here shortly. You'll see the marketing team pushing stuff out as well. Myself and the team will be on doing some Twitter spaces. We'll be doing some AMAs within the Discords. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff. We'll be in several different videos and interviews with CryptoFace, talking about his portfolio, his strategy, what he's doing. And then we will kind of run down some things from there. The Fantasy Fusio game, I will give you more information when I can on that one. The wallet information, the token launch for Fusio, what launch pad we're going to use, pre-token sales, all that fun stuff. We'll get into it at a later date once I'm allowed to share that information and we have a more distinct timeline. We're still working out partnerships as we speak. And run down different aspects of Block Gold, our own layer 1 token and our layer 1 blockchain coming out at the end of this year will be Blockguard and our own Blockguard token, kind of the utilities behind that. Why we have 3 tokens, the Fusio token, that's more of a DeFi token. And then you have Block Gold, which is a 1-to-1 backing of gold, stored in 2 different vaults in Singapore and Switzerland. Redeemable at a 1-to-1 ratio, regardless. The price of that token will be pegged to 1 gram of gold. And then finally, you'll have Blockguard's own, just like a Ethereum token that runs the blockchain with a focus on security. So we'll run down some things from there. Thank you for all the support for everybody these past couple years. It's been a long 3 years for us developing this stuff, and we're freaking excited to bring it to market. And we have a lot of stuff that I don't think anyone's seen before on different aspects, and we've actually got something done right. So it's one thing I feel like people haven't rushed to market, unlike Cardano, who's been developing something forever and hasn't really got it right, in my opinion, yet. We got it right. So I'm excited to show it to you when I'm allowed to. I won't ramble on. Like always, nothing I say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me at the Crypto Blackwall on Twitter, the Blockguard Discord, private coaching over in Patreon. And then if you want to hit me up in the DMs, feel free to do so. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Bye.